What's up, y'all? It's the Director Z, Lose on again. Something big happened recently, and I just want to take a moment of silence to remember the 67 tragic victims that were recovered but did not survive a DC plane crash of a collision of a Blackhawk and an American airline jet. This is I wanted to do a video on the fires as well, the Palisades and all that, but there was a lot going on in my life, and now I just want to talk about this because now, unfortunately, we have a good-for-nothing president that would rather blame DEI than the fact that he fired some key security advisory roles in TSA. But instead, he wants to talk about how DEI hires are bad and go against common sense. So, if you don't know, we're about to run through a couple articles right now. DC plane crash is believed to have no survivors. Bodies were recovered, but no survivors. Apparently, some of the plane was still intact as it was in the water, and there were still bodies like seatbelted on there, and it's awful. So apparently, an airline was going off uh, over Washington D.C. American Airlines Flight 5342 is involved in a mid-air collision near the Reagan Washington National Airport in D.C. Apparently, 60 passengers and 4 crew members were on board, and then a black helicopter carrying 3 passengers collided with it over the Potomac River. Apparently, the plane was traveling from Wichita, Kansas to Washington, D.C. when the crash occurred. And apparently, the people on board were part of the International Skating Union. U.S. figure skaters, Russian figure skaters, and other Russian nationals were also on the plane. Skating Club of Boston speaks on 6 club members killed. Jesus Christ. The 6 were returning from skating camp that took place after the U.S. Championships in Wichita. Wow. Oh, that fucking breaks my heart. That fucking sucks. Samuel Liley, 29, was the first officer on the flight. Wow. That the younger Liley was engaged and to be married in the fall. Oh. A United Association announces loss of a 5th union member in plane crash. Man. No survivors, but dozens of bodies were recovered. Officials recovered 27 bodies from the plane and 1 from the helicopter. Oh, that is just so awful. The story is still emerging and continuing, but of course our fucking president had to make some stupid goddamn comment. And apparently he blames DEI for plane crash that killed 67 people in ridiculous press conference. Provided no evidence and said that it was common sense the crash was caused by diversity hiring. What? The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and under mental and physical conditions under diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. Trump said the Democratic presidents that preceded him were to blame for the crash because they instituted policies that hire people who were unqualified. What? That shouldn't have been. You have a helicopter and a plane. That shouldn't have happened. And we'll see. We're looking into that. No, the fuck he's not. He's saying all this to cover his own ass. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistakes. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How can you come up with a conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with the... Thank you. A reporter. A very common sense reporter. Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. And we want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the high... You're a fucking moron. This dude's an idiot. And you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions. You're dealing with a very high-level computer work and very complex computer. No, the fuck you're not. Oh my god. So fucking stupid. So, we have these comments, and on top of that, this happened 7 days ago, right here. Trump fires key heads of TSA, Coast Guard, and guts key aviation safety advisory committee. Thank you. This was reported 7 days ago, January 21st, 2025, by Josh Funk on the Associated Press. Yeah, the AP News. President Donald Trump moved quickly to remake the Department of Homeland Security Tuesday, firing the heads of the Transportation Security Administration and Coast Guard before their terms are up and eliminated. and eliminated all the members of the Key Aviation Security Advisory Group. Let me repeat that. Eliminated all the members of the Key Aviation Security Advisor Group. Trump's immigration policy changes drew the most attention at DHS, but he's also making changes at the rest of the massive agency. Members of the Aviation Security Advisory Committee received a memo Tuesday that the department is eliminating the membership of all advisory committees as a part of a commitment to eliminating the misuse of resources, ensuring that DHS activities prioritize our national security. The Aviation Security Committee, which has mandated Congress after the 1988 Pan Am 103 bombing over Lockerbie, Scotland, will technically continue to exist, but it won't have any members to carry out the work of examining safety issues at airlines and airports. So, we have a DC plane crash. Trump blames DEI hires. And apparently, on the 21st, he all but gutted the safety issues at the airlines and airports. Fired all the people involved in it. So apparently, the group still exists of the Aviation Security Committee, but it won't have any members to carry out works of examining safety issues at airlines and airports. Before Tuesday, the group included representatives of all key groups in the industry, including airlines and major unions, as well as members of the group associated with the victims of the Pan 103 bombing. The vast majority of the group's recommendations were adopted over years. It wasn't immediately clear how many other committees were effectively eliminated Tuesday, or whether other departments have taken similar actions. A similar safety group advises the Federal Railroad Administration on new rules and safety issues in that industry. Oh, shit. I naively thought, oh, they're not going to do anything in the new administration. Put security at risk. Aviation security at risk. But now I'm not so sure. Stephanie Bernstein, whose husband was killed in the bombing, and served on the committee. Holy shit. The future of the committee remains unclear because the DHS officials didn't respond Tuesday to question about the move. The memo that announced the termination said the future committee activities will be focused on advancing our critical mission to protect homeland and support DHS's strategic priorities. Oh my god. So not only did this guy gut a key advisory committee that's meant for safety for TSA, now he's trying to, public relations it by saying, oh, well, it's a Democrat's fault. It's the ridiculous, DEI hires. We have to keep informed, people. We really just have to keep a good head on our shoulders and know what's right and what's wrong. And everything out of this orange fat fuck's mouth is just wrong. Wrong. Lies. And he knows we can look it up. He knows we're not stupid. Well, not all of us, but there's a majority that he knows is fucking easily manipulated. And that's his fucking audience. So yeah, DC plane crash happens, terrible tragedy, 67 people dies. Of course, this loudmouth, fat mouth breather has to just say that, oh, well, it's the DEI hires, obviously. It couldn't be anything else. It couldn't be the fact that I fired a bunch of key advisory security committees for TSA and airports. No, it wasn't that. It's never my fault. It's always the Democrats. It's always... See, that's the point. You can't argue with these fucking people. Because when it comes to a cult, their leader is never wrong. Their leader can never do wrong. Republicans can never openly admit Trump made a mistake. Even if they can't even just say like a little sliver, like, yeah, he may have messed up. No, it's always, no, the Democrats. Oh, no, the government. Oh, no, they're always trying to stop him. That's how you know it's a cult. There's no arguing. There is no middle ground where they can agree to disagree. Everything this fucker does is just gospel. It's ridiculous. And then there's always people attacking you for it, saying like, oh, well, you're a lib and you're letting the Democrats manipulate you. Gotta laugh it off, man. These people don't actually want any criticism or any constructive conversation. They're just sore winners, and they'll never shut the fuck up about it. So just keep your heads high, keep fighting, don't stop, don't be complacent, Because yes, James Baldwin, one of my favorite quotes of all time. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Thank you guys.